call this meeting to order of the Board of Trustees for the Village of Cambridge, our meeting of December 10th, 2024. Roll call, please.
Reinig.
Here.
Franklin. Blackwood.
Here.
Hollenbeck. Here. Cracklow.
Here.
McNally.
Here. If we can stand and recite the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And I will suggest if somebody would want to make a motion to move item 8C up in the agenda.
I would like to make a motion to move item HC up in the agenda so we can address it currently.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carries. Okay. Lisa, this was from last night,
Yes.
our Plan Commission.
Yes.
And this is...
Or 8A, I'm sorry.
Oh, 8A, amend my...
Oh, no.
No, which one was it?
Which one are we doing?
One of the, where am
plat?
I?
Yeah,
The
this
plat.
plat.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
We did it right.
Okay.
You were right.
I'm looking in the wrong thing.
Okay.
Now my numbers got screwed up. Yes, so the Plan Commission did recommend this unanimously. It is taking that corner lot that we've looked at before for, it was before Plan Commission, before for apartments, and dividing that into 3 separate parcels for the purpose of single-family homes. And we have the developer here if there's
Beautiful.
questions. So, but it was a unanimous recommendation from Plan Commission.
Good evening,
If you could give us your name, please.
Erin Berry.
Okay. And you are the developer here?
Yes.
Okay. And what can you tell us about this?
Sure. So I'm proposing to take lot 8 from Matt's plat for the Village of Cambridge and divide it into 3 single-family home sites. They're all nearly half-an-acre lots. And the reason behind this is because I've attended the other meetings where people have proposed multifamily, and it seems that's not what the village wants at all. And I think it's important to kind of make a harmonious transition with what we already have there. So I attached covenants and restrictions that are pretty strict in terms of the exterior requirements.
So is this just the survey map?
This is just the certified survey map.
Okay, so this isn't like any agreement for what's going to be built or any?
No.
Okay.
No.
All right, so that would be later.
It's just splitting the parcel into
Okay.
3 lots.
All right. So I did have one item I wanted to bring up, and that's, I think there should be a sidewalk on Kenseth Way side, because we're about to connect to Quick Trip, and the only place people can walk right now is on the street or the bike trail. And there's concerns about how busy Kenseth Way is going to be anyway. So my concern would be, what can we as a village do for requiring a sidewalk in that area?
And we did have a small discussion on this last night. Most new properties do need sidewalks in the village. The Woodhaven subdivision does not have sidewalks, so it was kind of a sidewalk there. Is
So
it going anywhere?
I'm not saying on Drumlin Trail.
No,
I
yeah.
agree, no sidewalk on that street, but
And
There are not presently sidewalks on Kenseth in front of the apartments.
In
I do
front
want to
of the
point out on either apartment, so that developer didn't need to burden
Yeah.
that cost.
so it's something we can look at when
so
a
So I'd
building
have a
permit
tiny
is-
strip going nowhere and going nowhere, essentially, because there's none by the winery, there's none on the apartments. It would be a little strip required for me to personally pay for.
yep, I understand that, but I mean, at some point, we need to have sidewalk all along that way. So at
Yeah.
some point, we're gonna have to have the winery put in a sidewalk, and we're gonna have to put a sidewalk in by the apartments. Otherwise, what's the point of having the crosswalk to the Quick Trip? Because where are all of those people gonna walk?
I get it. I
Yeah.
just, it's something that can be addressed when permits are taken out.
Okay.
And,
All right,
yeah. Um,
so that would be my only, I mean,
Yeah.
I have the certified map I'm fine
Yeah.
with. I think we as a village need to take a look at what we need to do for
And I need to
sidewalking in
take
that.
a look back at the original developers agreement with the whole Vineyard subdivision. I know some areas excluded the need for for sidewalks, so I don't know if it was specifically excluded at the apartments. I know the cul-de-sacs were
The
excluded.
cul-de-sacs make sense to me to
Yeah.
exclude cul-de-sacs, because, I mean,
yeah.
what are you gonna do, have a little round
Yeah.
circle? And I absolutely would
so-
not expect a sidewalk on the Drumlin Trail side of it. My
Yeah.
concern is, I mean, unless on the other side of the street we want to put in a sidewalk, and I don't know what we've sold over there.
Yeah.
And I mean, I just think that there has to be a sidewalk on one side or the other of
Mm-hmm.
Kenseth Way, because with the crosswalk trip, there's gonna be a lot, I think there's gonna be a lot more
Yeah.
foot
And-
traffic, and it's a safety thing.
Question
Okay.
for another day, because I've already gotten phone calls on when we're doing the crossing.
Yeah, okay.
Is
super.
that something that gets worked out in the plan commission then, when they get further involved in this then, or does that have to come somewhere else?
Before, I mean, a home doesn't come to plan commission.
Mm-hmm.
So it is something that,
But the sidewalks that connect all
yeah,
this stuff, right?
could we require it on that one parcel and then decide what we're doing with other parcels if the village is putting sidewalks in? If we, legally, can we go back and have the property owners put them in after the fact? Yeah. But before us tonight is the CSM.
Okay.
So,
Yep,
Yep, makes sense.
yeah.
Thanks, Lisa.
yep, thank you. I'll make a motion to approve the CSM for the Matt Platt area. Matt's Platt, yeah, I don't, I don't even know what to,
Yeah, it's lot one and,
oh, there you go, lot
or
one.
or was this lot two
I thought it was lot
originally? Yeah.
1 or 8.
Oh, lot
The
two.
CSM is gonna be,
Yeah, it says
yeah.
lot two in your application.
Yeah.
Yep, lot two, CSM 12628.
yeah.
Okay.
I'll second.
Okay, further discussion? You were asked last night if you would be willing, or if there was any feasibility on bringing in just 2 lots instead of 3, and you wanted to stick with the 3.
That's correct. I did bring another variation like we talked about last night if you want to take a look at it, but that would open up a right-of-way with a driveway on Kenseth, and I don't think that's ideal probably for the flow of traffic, so this orientation that I did submit is preferred.
Okay. All right. I can't think of anything else from last night. Further questions, concerns?
Did Dean did Dean ask about the fire hydrant that's there?
No.
There's a fire hydrant in lot 1. There's a fire hydrant right there, which is where the driveway would be. So how would that get addressed if this was built to this plan?
I don't see it on this CSM, so I'd have to go see exactly the placement. I know what you're talking about, but I'd have to measure which, is it on this one? No, it's not indicated anywhere.
Yeah, it's not,
Yeah.
and my husband's on the
Yeah.
planning commission, Dean Hollenbeck, and so, and
Oh,
he had
yeah.
gone out and looked at the 8th place, and that's when he saw the fire hydrant, and he thought he must not have brought it up last
Yeah,
night.
that did not come up last night.
So I
And-
know it's 25 minimum length. Is it able to start like a single and open up then to a double width? 'Cause I think that would work with where it is a little placed more to the left.
Yeah, driveway could be moved, or if needed, a hydrant could be moved on the line if it's possible to,
At the cost to the developer?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
You know, I personally made us take out a $200,000 loan to cover our budget for next year. So I have to be very concerned about where dollars are being spent.
Understood.
Thank you. I
Yeah.
appreciate that.
Further questions?
Yeah, and I guess my only concern is because that is like the shorter driveway too, so that might be just something we'd want to take a look at. But I still would approve
Park
it.
impact fees?
Those would be part of the, there's
Building.
impact fees when they apply for building permits
I
for
gotcha.
each parcel.
All right.
Okay, we've got a motion and a second for approval of Matt's Platte Drumlin Trail. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carries.
I think
Good
this is a very clever way to get 3 new properties on there.
Worked on that for a long time.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you very much.
Looking forward to seeing.
Thank you.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, now we're going to back into the agenda. And did we cover proof of posting?
Nope, upper and lower levels of the Amundsen Community Center, the Cambridge Post Office, Badger Bank, and the village website.
Okay. Moving on, public comment. Melissa, you're about the only one that I see this evening.
This is a
Do you have
this is
anything,
refreshing.
yes, that you would like to talk about? All right, we'll dispense with public comment and move right into approval of the consent agenda.
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll second.
All right. Any questions? All those in favor of approval, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carries. Reports. I want a president's report here. This past weekend was just a wild weekend here for Cambridge. We had 2 businesses opening up. Had a chance to meet with those folks. We also had our Cambridge Country Christmas, and that included the up at the Veterans Park. We had carolers. We had brats and hot dogs for sale, hot chocolate. The Lions Club put on just a wonderful event. They have a new little kind of a hut thing for Santa Claus. He came in by way of the fire department. It was all lit up, and that was done without any complications. Had a chance to introduce the jolly old elf. Was asked to do that, and I felt I could do that. Went ahead. There was also, I keep saying it's candles and bags, and I'm going to get
Luminaries.
the luminaries.
Yeah.
I will remember this someday. Luminaries up and down Main Street and the Cookie Walk, and it was great seeing kids out. I had asked law enforcement to be there, and they were. In fact, I was asking him to move so that they'd be right across from Veterans Park, and he pulled the speeder over, and then he came back, and he was there and had his lights on during the evening. It was just a really, really good event all the way through.
A lot of other businesses and organizations also participated and deserve thanks. The Elf Shelf was here.
Yes.
They did crafts. There was a cookie walk here. The library did events.
Sunday was breakfast with Santa,
Santa.
up at the
So,
elementary school.
Thank you to everyone who not.
Yep.
So it was a wonderful display of community spirit and what living in Cambridge, Wisconsin is all about. Large number of visitors, and we had good weather. So all in all, it was a wonderful evening. Okay, I'm going to move on. Plan Commission, we've already covered one of the items, and the other one is on the agenda here, and we'll get to it. So I think that was it. So we don't really need to speak on that because we will be addressing the only other item of consequence. Public Works update.
They did complete their last round of leaf pickup for the year. They've collected 35 loads, 700 cubic yards of leaves. Last round of compost and brush was finished up today for the year. The compost site is open until December 15th. After the 15th, it does close for the winter. They took care of a tree up on East Main and Simonson that was hit by a car. That tree had to come down. Tree Works also cut down a tree on the corner of North and Lawn. That was a dangerous tree. Trimmed another on Water and Sullivan that was over a home. Took care of that. If you've noticed, at our last meeting, I noticed the lights in here. They went through and all the lights in here, they had to replace 21 light bulbs in this room.
Oh my.
Oh, they weren't flickering.
Yeah. So they came down, took care of all the lights in here. Also removed, we had a lot of wires and stuff from during COVID when we had sneeze guards up and stuff. So while they were up there, they took care of all those, got those down. We had a clogged drain in the police garage, fixed that. Ongoing tree trimming in preparation for snow removal along the streets where the plows would be hitting. The snow fence in Westside Park is partially up. Going to be finishing that up. Shrub trimming in Westside Park here at the Amundsen Center. Main Street, they've fixed one street light. There's still 3 more that they have to finish repairs on. Retention ponds, they did get out there and do some cutting and some controlled burns. So we'll have more of an update out Water and Sewer next week on that. They did begin some street sweeping. There were some questions with some business owners along the alleyway here, so they met with them, looking at some different options on how they can do snow removal back here. Continuing work, it looks like we're going to have some consistently cold temperatures, so they may flood the ice rink if it looks like weather will permit that. Finish up the Main Street lights and the snow fence. Putting some extra lights up in Veterans Park, time permitting. Finishing the shrub trimming. Working on finishing setting up all the equipment for snow removal. And they have some trees that they have to remove over at well number 3. Now that most of the work is done there, there's just a few trees to be removed there still. So
Okay, questions for Lisa?
How is the temporary director exercise going?
I think it's going well.
Good, good.
Yeah.
All right, excellent.
Now I know what that smoke was coming from by the retention.
Yes, he did ask if we received any phone calls today, and we hadn't.
I
No.
just noticed it was going
Yeah.
on. I thought that much. So it's good they squeezed it.
Yeah.
No other questions.
Yeah.
How's the, have you had any further discussions with what is going to be the new hire?
Yes,
And-
and I'll get that in my update. It's Jay's update, so.
Oh, okay, all right. I'm sorry. Okay. Anything else for Public Works? All right.
Everything with our plows all ready to go?
They're working, finishing up, getting those ready. They were just talking about, we do have a new plow coming. We don't know for sure when that's coming.
Mm-hmm.
When that does that, we'll be borrowing. But it was approved 2 years ago. I think it's been back ordered and built.
Now that
and-
plow, when it comes, is going to be compliant with Dane County's lighting,
Yeah, it'll be.
so it's going to
compliant
throw
with
off
all.
the other plows, the green.
I don't know.
The other plows
Green
do
or
not
red.
have
They
it.
don't have it. I'm trying to think. I don't know if those are mandated.
Yeah, Dane County
I can check with them.
and Jefferson, they both utilize them.
Yeah. I can check with them.
Okay. All right, we'll move on to village office updates.
Busy couple weeks. Mill rate worksheet, levy limit worksheet. Worked with the counties to prepare the tax bills. We just received Jefferson County's tax bills yesterday. We'll be picking up Dane County's tomorrow. So they'll be going out in the mail later this week. All that I do have to finish up the statement of taxes, which we'll verify before they can be mailed out for both counties. All taxing jurisdictions did have an increase in their levies. We kept hearing, school doesn't have an increase, or, all taxing jurisdictions had increases. Dane County bills went up a total of 6% for the total bill, with the village's portion was 10.1%. There also to note, there is a reduction in the first dollar credit and the lottery credit that come from the state, which will result, it's a decrease of $54.54 from what people received last year. So everybody's taxes increased and the state cut back on credits. It's not just the village, which, because we prepare the tax bills, it's often
Our fault.
pointed to us. If property values changed, being a new home, building permits, those percentages may be a little different if your property value increased over last year's property value. Jefferson County bills overall increased 9.4%, with the village portion increasing 20.4%. Basically because Jefferson County does not have any new building. So any increases are on the same tax base. Dane County, you have more building, and that's where the new subdivisions come into play. It's spread around more taxpayers. So the increase is less on the Dane County than on the Jefferson County. So finishing up on statement of taxes, making sure all those are correct before the tax bills can go out, filing that with the state. Finishing up on the annual renewals for our property insurance for the village, closing out the November election. Paperwork is available for the April elections. Notices have gone out for that. Trustee Franklin has handed in his non-candidacy. So there are 3 positions for trustees of open and 1 for president. 2 of the trustee positions will not have incumbents running. So hopefully 1 incumbent running for the 3 trustee seats. And beginning a lot of the year-end tasks and reports, preparing for tax collection. The new treasurer has accepted the position. She will be starting next Tuesday, the 17th. Jay and I have both reached out to a couple people on the LTE position. The one I had reached out to, unfortunately, had just committed to Town of Cottage Grove to help them with snow. But he said he is available if our guys need help on other things. We had talked about painting lines on the road, things like that. So he is committed for snow, but available for other things. And Jay has reached out to some, so nothing concrete yet, but still working on that.
Lisa, you said that Dane County's tax portion for Cambridge is 10.1.
The villages.
Right. What
yeah,
about the village's portion for Jefferson?
that went up 20%.
Okay.
Yeah, 20.4% for Jefferson was the village portion.
All right, I got you. Thanks.
Yeah. So overall, the 6% in the village or Dane
10.
side, and overall 9.4% increase on the Jefferson side.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Do you need help organizing or cleaning the office that our new hire will come in?
No, I asked her, she said she'd prefer we keep it, that her going through it
Okay,
will give her a chance to organize, see what's needed, see what's not, and organize how she wants it. So I did ask her if she wanted us to organize, and she said no. And that kind of fits her personality from
Totally
the
fits
interview.
her personality.
So she said, nope, leave it.
Yep.
It'll go through. It'll be a good learning tool for me to go through it. So
When she starts, are you planning on then probably then January starting to get her involved in some of the committees?
Yeah.
in January?
yeah, and she, in the interview process, we did talk. She will be doing economic development and audit and finance for sure. Those two. So yeah. Yeah. So I have had a number of discussions with her. So yep, we're excited.
have you been keeping your head above water? Because there's been an awful lot coming after you.
It has been a challenging couple of weeks, but
We,
there.
I'm sure we all,
Thank you.
I'll speak for my compatriots here. We all appreciate the extra work that we know that you are having to
Thank
put in
you.
because we are short. So
Yes.
thank you,
yes, and
Lisa.
both counties have been very helpful.
Good.
Calling, saying,
Good.
you know, I just sent the SOT over to Jefferson County. Does this look right before I submit it to the state? You know.
Nice. Good.
Yeah, so they've both been very helpful.
And I'm
So-
sure Judy and Vicky are doing what they can help too to help. So
Yes.
extend our thanks to them
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah,
Okay.
thank you.
Okay, let's move on. Treasurer's report. We'll start with the bill first.
And that's all I have today. So the first run was in the amount of $33,254.75. Second run, $22,782.64 for a total of $56,037.39.
Okay. Anybody care to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to pay the bills in the amount of $56,037.39.
All right, do we have a second?
I'll second.
Okay. Discussion. Questions?
I did not see anything I questioned today.
Anything? I had one, and it is very, very small, but this thing shows up, and I thought, we'll talk about it. It's the Whiskey Thief Way signs, the stop signs.
It's the street signs.
Yeah, I thought, are they replacing more down there? Because they were welded on.
They were welded, but they were stolen again. They had tamper,
How in the
yeah.
Somebody going up there with a,
Blowtorch or?
I don't know, but they were down. We have to replace them.
and those signs are for sale, right? I mean, they sell them out there at
Yeah.
the distillery.
People could buy them, but how much fun is that?
Yeah,
Um,
I
You can
suppose.
steal them.
Yeah.
Aye, aye, aye.
These ones have been up quite a while, but yeah.
Okay. All right. That's the only thing I saw.
Well, at least they're not painting on the water tower.
Yeah. Years ago, the High Street signs were stolen.
High Street, nice. I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cyclical. Yeah. People.
Yeah.
Okay. That was all that I had. Anybody else coming back one more time? All right. Roll call, please.
Franklin, Blackwood,
Yes.
Hollenbeck,
Yes.
Bracklaw,
Yes.
Reinig,
Yes.
McNally.
Yes. All right. We're going to move into new business. We'll start with ordinance 24-03 related to creating a room tax ordinance recommendation from the Economic Development Committee. Brian, do you want to take this, or?
Yeah, this
Lisa?
one's been out there. We wanted to get it done by the end of the year. Economic Development Committee reviewed it. Legal had provided some updates on it, Jane, and so we recommend we put getting that approved. In the Economic Development agenda notes, we had some dialogue about how much money is generated just for referencing that too, so. So, recommendations that the board approves that action. It's gonna impact 3 businesses, and we put in there that letters will be going out specifically for those 3.
The 2 motels and the motel downtown here? The 2 motels and then the hotel downtown here?
Yeah,
We don't have any bed and breakfasts in town anymore, or does it not affect bed and breakfasts?
we don't have any right now.
Okay. All right.
What is the tax rate that we're looking, or the room tax rate? I was trying
10%,
to-
was
Is
it?
it 10? Okay, I was trying to find it, and then I had it and I didn't have it.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, well, I'll wait until somebody makes a motion first.
I apologize to interrupt, but Brian, could you move your mic up a little bit more? I seem to not be picking you up for some reason.
Oh, you can untwist it to some if you need it longer.
It seems to be on, it's just I'm not picking them up somehow.
How about that? Better?
Try speaking again?
Hello? Testing.
Here, he can share mine.
Get it much closer.
All right. Well, Melissa works on that. Does anybody care to make a motion here? I'll make a motion to approve the ordinance of 2024-03 related to the creating a room tax ordinance based on our consideration and recommendation from the Economic Development Committee.
I'll second that.
All right.
All right, so one item that I had in question here was the 70% to going to an entity. Could that go to multiple entities? Why would it have to go to only one every year?
I did not work on this. Tammy had worked on this in the committee. The 70% is a minimum from the state. I believe it probably could go to multiple.
So do we want to rewrite or add in, do we need to rewrite or add in like a parenthesis S every time it references the entity?
I can check with Jane and,
That would, I think that was the
In
only
case,
thing.
you mean in case we decide to add another one instead of one entity instead of multiple ones?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
That would
because-
make sense.
Because
Yeah.
if there was another organization in town that, you know, applied, because I think that's what how I read this is the people were going to apply, and then the economic development would choose who it goes to. There may be a point where they say, hey, we want 20% of the 70% to go to this organization, and you know, the 80% to go to the other organization. So I just thought it might be nice to have it written so that we could have that flexibility if we thought that was important.
One of the things I wanted to mention with this is, and why I can't get behind it, is because, Brian, you mentioned that this affects 3 businesses in town.
Mhm.
But one of the things that you didn't mention, that it really affects our staff. It's going to affect our staff and the workload that they're going to have to do. And I think it's a great ordinance that we keep and we possibly put it on a shelf right now, because 3 businesses that it affects, maybe once we reach a threshold of 5, we can bring it back. But right now, with what the workload that our staff is going to have to put into it and what we get in return, it doesn't make economical sense to me.
So I think, Lisa, we talked about there would be some letters that would have to go out, a little bit of work on collecting on that. There was also discussion that if another hotel would be looking to locate into the area, this is already in place now. They would build those costs and those tax things into their decision on that. So having it in place now makes sense for that, so.
The other point that I would also want to make a point of, Chris, is right now, I don't think we budget anything for the Economic Development Committee. So So if the Economic Development Committee, you know, would want to do something, they have no money to do anything with. And so this is one way to fund the efforts that that Economic Development Committee might want to do.
Mhm. Yeah, I think it's, like I said, I think it's a great ordinance. It's written well. I just think it's a little premature. So that's just my opinion.
Okay.
Okay, anybody else have anything? Do we need to change to incorporate Paula's
Yeah,
Adding the
multiple?
plural.
yeah.
Are you all right with that?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm all right with that. Okay, we've got a motion and a second. All those in favor of approval of 2024-03, the room tax ordinance, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Opposed.
Okay, carries on a 4-1 vote here. All right. Let's move on. Item 8B, foundation grant request. Lisa?
So foundation grants have to be in by the end of this month. I put a couple things on here that have been discussed at either board level or committee levels. If there's anything else any of you have to add, they can be discussed at this time. I'll kind of go through in your packet, or I think I had it in the packet. Got too many papers today. For West Side Park, Public Works had talked about, there's a quote from Lee Recreation to replace a few pieces of equipment that are broken. There was discussion, it's an older park, so we can't get a lot of the pieces anymore, so it's fitting in what can go where it was broken. With the discussion within the next 10 years, that'll probably have to be replaced there. And then the matting, staff would put down the new matting to save costs. So the total quote for that was $8,695. Amundsen Center Landscaping, the retention wall was completed due to a grant from the foundation last year. Public Works would like to finish the landscaping around the Amundsen Center front and back to kind of match the nice landscaping that was done in front of the library. Jay is still working on getting me some numbers for that, so I shouldn't be real expensive, but he's looking to get numbers for that. And then the downtown beautification, I did pull up this year. We spent $1,984 on flowers and the supplies for the flower pots downtown, and $2,276.95 for garland and supplies. So the total had been $4,260.95 for this year.
So are you going to request a little over that amount, like?
And that's your call, yeah, if we 4,500
I was
or
gonna say 48,
yeah.
4,800, that way it covers us a little bit if there's
Yeah,
some
if
additional
more
costs.
liners in the baskets
Right.
need to be done, or if cost of garland
Okay.
goes up, or, yeah. So that's all your decisions on the exact dollar amounts, but these are the three areas that I know were talked about. If anybody else has anything else.
I know we had put in a request in the past to do we had some issues with curling of the siding on well number 2. That siding is aged quite a bit. We decided that we were gonna, or the foundation paid for the roof and the gutters, but that still needs to be on the request for that, because the siding is, it's over 20 years old on it, and there's some issues of it, like wind had taken some of it off. Well number 2 is still functional, it's still usable, I just don't want it to get forgotten about, you know.
Yeah.
So do you need a motion on these things, or just direction?
I'd say motion or direction, just so I know what it's not my decision what to ask for, it's your guys's, so.
Well, I'll do what we can do these separately if you want. So I would like to make a motion that we put in a request to the foundation for downtown beautification in the amount of $4,800.
I will second.
Okay. Any questions? Although, yeah, we're not spending the
No.
money, so it's just, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carries. All right.
I'll make a motion to request from the foundation the West Side Park, I guess, repair and beautification.
Yep, repair and maintenance.
And it's the amount that was,
Quoted.
that Lee Recreation gave us. I think it was $8,000.
8,695.
Okay.
I'll second that.
All right. Discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay. And then we've got one more.
I will make a motion to approve the Amundsen Center landscaping in the amount, did we get an amount?
Not
we
yet, just Jay is working
Okay.
on that.
in-
Yeah.
All right.
I'll second.
Okay, discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye.
Oh, hold on, I see,
Okay.
or Paula, do you have a question?
Oh, I'm sorry.
So does the, like, these are three requests. Does the foundation grant multiple requests like this?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh,
yeah.
All right, so we're good
Yep.
to ask for as many
Yep.
things as we want.
Mhm.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. If it's one large, then they'll usually do one. Last year, it was
Sure.
3 or 4 things.
Oh,
that they
perfect.
Yeah.
All right, super, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
Okay.
now, Mark, you can
Sorry.
call for vote.
Yep, I'm going to call for vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carries. All right.
I'd like to make a motion to request for the foundation the re-siding of well number 2 in the amount that our Public Works Director can get a quote for.
I'll second that.
All right. That's good. Anything else? Any discussion? All
Paula can
those,
pick the color.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I want to do, because isn't it blue now? I
It's
don't
blue.
want blue in the neighborhood. The
Yeah.
blue sticks out, doesn't look good. Let's go with like a brown.
You want something better to go with your
something that
gravel?
blends,
Your
yes.
gravel
Yeah,
drive?
something that blends better, please.
Gravel road?
Yes, thank you, with my gravel road that Jarlsberg is going to go back to.
All right.
Yes,
Cobalt
thank you.
blue, it's not. All
Mm.
right. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, so well number 2. Is there anything else we want to throw in here in the foundation? Okay. Continuing on, we've already covered 8C, so let's go to 8D, sidewalk easement agreement with the Cambridge Presbyterian Church. Recommendation from the Plan Commission. I
Yep.
saw
This
stuff
was
in here.
also unanimous. This has come before Plan Commission a couple times, as well as the Water and Sewer Committee. The church, the way the lot line is, we have the old well behind, and they don't have access from the back of their property to the side of the property and the side door. So they've been asking for an easement, to be able to put a sidewalk to get around the side of the building. Water and Sewer had no concerns with anything underground there. So they were fine with it. Legal counsel did look at it. Legally, it was, indemnifying the village. We're good there, so they were fine with it. It's policy decision for the board if they, but
Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve the sidewalk easement agreement with the Cambridge Presbyterian Church.
I will second.
All right. Any further discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, carries. Brings us up now to item 8E.
I will make a motion to have no village board meeting on December 24th. Sorry, Mark, didn't you want to let you get that one out?
You know what, I might just vote that in dissent. No, I'm not.
Hey, Scrooge.
Doesn't Paula usually make those motions, though? I mean, I'm having a case of deja vu here.
All right. Anyway, what's your motion, Paula?
To not have a village board meeting on December 24th.
Okay.
of 2024.
All right.
I
Okay.
will second.
All right. We're trying to make sure that Melissa has a night with her family and doesn't have to come down here and record this. Okay.
Or us.
Yeah, yeah.
That doesn't
All right.
Yeah, or us, because
Yeah, well,
now I actually get to go to Minneapolis and spend it with my family because we're celebrating on the
Christmas
24th.
Eve. All right.
In
In
print.
the village, hall is not open that day. It is a legal holiday for staff, so.
Well, that parking lot would look good. Okay.
All
All right. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. No village board meeting on December 24th.
Humbug.
Okay. Now let's go on to item 8F as the authorization for clerk, administrator, treasurer, or president to approve and sign payables, checks after December 12th village board meeting through the end of the year, providing the board with a list of all checks sent out.
And as soon as Lucy does start, we will get her signed up for being a signatory and the accounts too. So I don't know how fast that will happen, but in the meantime, Mark and I could sign.
Anybody want to make a motion?
I will make a motion to authorize the clerk, administrator, and treasurer or president to approve and sign payables, checks after the December 12, oops, it says 2023.
Oh,
Sorry,
Yeah.
2024 village board meeting through the end of the year, providing the board with lists of all checks sent out.
All right. We have a second?
I'll second.
In the DeLorean.
Yeah, time travel.
Okay. Any
This is
fur-
something, Brian, just so you know, this is something we do every year.
yeah.
All right. Got a motion and a second. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Carries.
And again, the intent of, sorry, just wanted to say, the intent of that is so that we don't incur late fees
Yes.
for bills that are due, because we are not holding that board. So again, it's really is
If they can wait until the next
Yep.
board meeting, they wait. But if they're due before then,
thank you.
And we'll get a copy of all of it.
and
It's
for
sent out,
auditing
so.
purposes, easier to have them done in the year
Oh,
they're
yeah,
due.
in the year
Yes,
they do
it is.
pay them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, all right, that is done. Okay, that takes us into the unfinished business. 9A, Amundsen Flooring. Looks like we've got a couple of quotes, Lisa.
Yep, so this was also part of the foundation grant from last year. They did give us $40,000 for flooring here. We had received a quote from Sardinians. Public Works had wanted another quote. Both quotes to fit in the $40,000 does have carpeting in this room. When J&M came, they said, especially with the chairs that we have, if we have any tile, it's gonna
Tear it up.
trash it, so best to do carpeting anyway. I believe Sardinians would have carpeting all the way out into the hallway too. The J&M would not. Part of the issue, it was a very high quote to have tile in here because of the moisture issues we've had in the past. The creek bed used to run through the parking lot here. So the water table's very high. We've, a number of years back, had mold. Whole bottom level had to be clean. So the vapor needed to put the tile down. So the two quotes came in with the carpeting. Sardinians was $38,550. That does include the hallway upstairs as well. J&M carpet was $27,933.20. So
Okay.
I'll make a motion that we go with J&M carpet flooring for the Amundsen Center.
Okay. All right. Do we have a second? I'll second. Okay.
Now we can talk.
Yep. Discussion?
The tile, or the carpet, it's carpet tiles, correct?
Yep, the
And
carpet
will we
squares.
have, will they give us extra carpet tiles so that when we have carpet tiles that
Yeah, we
get
should,
stained or
and we can clarify, but
fail?
we should get all the extras.
Okay, all right.
Um,
I would just want to make sure we have enough extras so
Yeah.
that, if somebody spills an entire cup of coffee in one tile and we can't get it cleaned, it'd be easier just to pull up the
Yeah.
carpet and put a new one down. Okay.
They're very similar to the ones in the library, and the ones we have upstairs in our office are the carpet tiles,
Do we,
squares.
have you looked at samples? Was there a difference between Sargenians versus J&M?
I have not looked at samples.
Didn't Sarginians have a better warranty?
I don't know for sure. I just got the one from J&M this last week.
I understand that, we're all in the money-saving mode and everything, but the foundation gave us a grant for $40,000, and it came in under the grant, and they're going to carpet more.
I don't think that area out there should be carpeted.
This area?
With the mud that's coming in?
It is in the library.
And then they're going to do upstairs as well?
Upstairs will be tile.
Oh, but Sarginians, is
They
that part of the
both do
quote?
tile upstairs. Yeah. That doesn't have the issue with the vapor
Mhm.
that we have down here. So Surginians is taking into account the moisture issue out there where
Yeah.
J&M didn't feel it was as much of an issue, but
I can rescind my motion if, I mean, what was the grant we got from,
40,000.
so it would be covered either way?
Mm-hmm.
Surginians did
I
do,
want to say they have a better warranty.
just as a side, all the repairs when we were having the tiles pop up in here. So a year ago, they did come in and fix
Replace.
the tiles that were popping. That was our temporary, while we were waiting to see if we got the grant.
With Sarginians, we're sure on that 38,000 amount?
Yes, he did say as long as we verify it by the end of this year.
Because he
They
knows we
would
only
hon-
have
It
the,
was, yeah, they gave us this a
Okay.
year ago, but he said they would honor it. So if we go with him, I would call him tomorrow immediately. Yeah.
so I'm going to rescind my motion.
Okay. I will make a motion, well, the second.
You know, I know both of these companies, but I'm looking at the quotes. J&M, it's 20,000. And,
Plus the 7,000 for upstairs,
okay,
27,933 total.
all right. And I'm looking at this for Surginians, and it's 78,000.
No,
No.
that was if the bottom floor was, if this was all tile. If you look right below it, the first floor, option A, is using the
Breathable
carpet tiles. So it drops
Price.
the price down to $38,550.
All right.
The
but
first quote they gave was all tile, and then they gave alternate option A of the carpet down here to lower the price.
So we have 27 versus 38.
27,900 versus 38,500. So
Yeah.
And according to Surgenian's website, they do have a lifetime guarantee or lifetime warranty.
I just, I mean, we're looking at $11,000 to go with
But-
Surginians, and I realize there's the value of the warranty, but these are both companies that have been around for quite a few years.
But the
Foundation
Grant.
gave us.
I mean, the grant we got from the foundation was 40,000.
Right.
And
So
so if,
Oh, yeah, they don't put it in there.
Oh,
I mean,
if we don't use the
But it
40.
says there.
Yeah.
If we don't use the 40,
Every
we give it back to the
installation will be
foundation?
backed by our service
Yeah,
department
I
for life.
think that's the right thing to do.
That needs to be read.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that what the Sargenian proposal gives us is the areas that are tiled, it does take into consideration that vapor barrier.
Can you go ahead and read that, Kristen?
It says, Surgenian's Forever Free guarantee means that every carpet installation will be backed by our service department for life. Our installers utilize the latest power stretch process to prevent carpet buckling and promote stability. If the carpet ever puckers, pops, or splits, we will fix it for free. Didn't look up J&M yet.
It's JM, not J.
Not
and
J&M.
M. I was trying to
I
get
was
it
like,
under
wait a minute.
J and M.
I mean, we can call, I guess, and find out if JM has the same
She's looking.
warranty.
Right
Looking
now.
online.
Trying to look.
Boy,
Says-
putting carpet in this room is going to make a huge difference.
Mhm.
Just says
Make it a more-
It's
a
gonna
warmer.
Warmer, more
installation is
atmosphere.
cover
comfortable,
under
yeah.
warranty. It doesn't say what the warranty is. They don't list a specific warranty that I see. Just says
And this was money that was afforded to us from the foundation from when we requested it last year, right?
Mhm.
So I rescinded my motion, so right now there isn't a motion on the table.
Yeah, I was about to make one, and Mark interrupted. So do you have anything more to say?
No, I just see the difference between 28 or 27 and 38. So, go ahead.
I'll make a motion to have Surgenians recarpet our village hall in the amount of what, Lisa? Not to exceed?
38,550.
Not to exceed
Or
38,
we could do not to exceed 40,000. That's
Yeah.
what the grant
not
is.
to exceed 40,000. And can you just please get that warranty in writing?
Mhm.
Because I can see a situation where they're, you know, they may have to replace something down the road or whatever the case is.
Okay,
So that's my motion.
that's your motion. Does anybody want a second?
I'll second.
Okay, discussion further? I'm going to vote against it because I just see I see a difference here of about $11,000, and I'm going to go with J&M, but that's where I'm at. Any other?
I don't see a lot of difference either, Mark. I kind of agree with you on that. So, I mean,
So
is there $11,000 difference
the
outside
warranty
of?
from Sargenian,
It's a lifetime.
that the
On the
lifetime
website.
warranty for Sargenian, is that the biggest factor for
For me,
you?
the warranty, and they're doing more work.
Sorry,
I mean,
double checking, is the JM place the one in Ford, or where is it?
J&M.
Yeah. For it.
JM. The other thing to keep in mind, there is a difference in the installation they're doing for the tile work, because Sargenian's is putting in the vapor barrier for the kitchen and the entryway,
Mhm.
where JM would not be doing that.
Mhm.
So, and I remember the mold.
It was a nightmare.
And that was huge. And so
And costly.
and costly. And so thinking second thought, that Vaporberry probably is a good idea for us to put in.
That'll help with the buckling and the, the moisture getting in there too, and so.
And again, Mark and Brian, if this was not, this was the village, of course we would go with the lowest bid, but this was money that was already guaranteed to us from the foundation for us to make a decision on. So
Do they break down that vapor layer in here, or they just include it in there?
It's-
Is that the?
Yep, that's the one, that's the 38 up at the top. I mean, they don't break it down for just the portion. I think that's just the whole first floor, and the whole first floor was going to be tile.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking that's like a third of the entire cost is that piece of it.
Yeah.
If that's what that is, J&M, they just didn't think we needed it, or they don't do
No,
that,
the
or they can't.
gentleman, when I talked to him, I told him about the issues we've had before, and he'd mentioned nothing about it.
another reason Sardinians is they have history. They have history with this particular room and our room. So
Okay, we've got a motion and a second to go with Surginians. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Yes, opposed. But it carries on a 4-1. Okay. Moving on to item 9B, Fire Commission update. Chris?
it's been eerily quiet, actually. Tomorrow I do have at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I have a meeting with Dave Schrader for hopefully the last meeting we have for collective bargaining with the union. They're meeting at I went to one before and it was tabled, but we have a mediator there, and hopefully we can get to some semblance of moving forward on it. There's been a lot of things at the table, such as severance, such as back pay, that we were against as a commission to a certain extent, but we still are in negotiations, so that happens tomorrow at 2 o'clock.
Before that's approved, is that going to come back to the municipalities? And is there going to be a cost analysis done on what the actual cost of that contract is going to be to the municipalities?
This is all based on, as crazy as it sounds, the 2024. Because this was supposed to be done, I want to say in,
December of last year.
yeah.
This is
Right, and I understand that, but we still need to
Yeah, we
because
can't
if you
incur.
approve it, and then we all have to pay twice as much for 2024 than what we've already paid, that's going to be a problem.
Mm-hmm. And that's going to be part of the discussions, I would imagine. And I don't think we can approve anything. We could, it's negotiations, but it ultimately will have to come back to the entire fire and EMS commission for any kind of vote. And before we vote in the commission, I would bring it back to the board.
So my question is, this is a contract, right? And don't all contracts have to be approved by the individual municipalities?
According to the
IGA.
IGA, yes.
So all 4 municipalities would have to agree with whatever's written in and do it
Even
in
in
their
this
board
instance, it
meeting.
would be all 5 because it's
Or 5,
2024.
right, it'd be all 5 have to agree with it.
So I cut you off, what now?
So I just want to,
Yeah,
so.
some
so-
reassurance that
well,
it'll come back to us.
And they have to understand that you guys may come to this agreement, but if the municipalities don't agree, they're going to have to go back to the bargaining table.
Yeah. Or legal. Because I imagine they'll probably pull that out, we've been kicking the can down the road, since December of last year, so, and we still haven't negotiated anything. Are you guys waiting until the end of the year? And, so, I don't know. They were very open to listening to our position from a commission standpoint last time, but it kind of ended in a stalemate, so.
And you have a mediator this time, you said?
We had one last time, too.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay. At what point does it go to arbitration?
I would imagine if we can't come to some kind of
Does-
agreement tomorrow,
Does it go to, is that what happens?
That would
with-
be the next step then, would be arbitration.
Right.
so.
So, okay. Again. I
Again,
mean,
there's a lot of variables, like you just told me that they decided to let go to EMS,
The latest
right?
rumor, if you will. But then there's also well, there's a lot of things.
There's a lot of, the Act 10 situation, that variable is part of those negotiations too. Where it's at in the legal steps is,
Right.
but I mean, that's one of the reasons why it got pushed till tomorrow. That we were originally supposed to have it on December 6th. And because of that ruling, the lawyers wanted to push it down to a later date, so. Or our lawyer, Mr. Hahn, so. But yeah, there's a lot of variables, and I will, as soon as I find anything out, I'll let Lisa know so she can let the rest of the board know. But, I mean, we're all strapped for money, so.
Okay.
All right.
Anything else for Chris?
I do.
Thanks.
Jane did say everybody did respond to, on the other mediation. Everybody did put their responses in. They're waiting to hear from the attorney what the next steps are and dates. So as of right now, nothing is scheduled, but if we would need a special meeting at some point, I'd let you know, but she'll keep us updated on where that one is in the process.
Okay.
If there's anything you'd want me as a board to share, my meeting's tomorrow at 2 o'clock, so just either email me or text, and I'll bring it up.
Do we know how they're classified? Are they classified as exempt or non-exempt as far as in terms of their overtime?
I believe non-exempt.
So that's over 40 hours then. Anything over 40 hours. How does Mr. Schrader, or how are they justifying the 56-hour work week then that he talked about?
I can ask that. I know that when I brought up the 72.
The 4896
Or
versus
40
the 2472.
Right. They kept going back and saying, well, we work a 56-hour work week.
So they're guaranteed 16 hours of overtime every week? No.
Yep.
They can change the schedule.
They can. Most other departments that are strictly EMS only work a 24/72. So
Okay.
they work 24 on 72. So there is that 8 hours, that
Right.
they are guaranteed. But I'm still not figuring out how they're getting 56 because that seventh day would be at least 18 hours of overtime if they're.
Does administrative versus have anything to do with it?
Administrative.
But Paul should be
Administrative
the
EMS?
only
Oh.
Paul should be the
No,
only
there is one more.
Paul should be the only administrative person, and he isn't covered by the union.
There's another.
There's one more person.
Okay, so neither one of them are unionized.
One is.
He at least had the option.
Yeah.
I don't know if he took that option or not.
That might be why it's difficult to negotiate right now.
Yeah.
Because of that administrative.
There's a very muddy line between administration and rank and file, and that's causing a lot of difficulties in the negotiating part of it, because from my understanding, administration is directing rank and file what to ask
They
for.
can't do that.
As opposed to, usually it's administration and rank and file, and then the mediator is in between, or the
Right.
union is in between.
Mm-hmm.
This is really muddy. There is no clear understanding, because the language, from what I'm being told, is the language that the rank and file is asking for is administration's language. So it makes it very difficult to
Especially in
have.
the realm of severance and what.
Is there nothing in Paul's contract that addresses that he cannot negotiate
We're not talking about Paul.
the collective bargaining thing? Well, administrative.
Mhm.
The administrative stuff,
Yeah.
people. That's not Paul?
Not in this situation.
No. It's his assistant.
Okay.
So
All right.
I will let you know as I find out tomorrow. But again, I'm not. There's certain things that you know about union-wise.
Mhm.
You'll, because of your husband and his relationship with the union. It's just for an example, Deer Grove is on a 72, right?
Yep.
2472.
2472.
They're represented by the same union.
Yep.
So
So what we're asking for as the EMS commission isn't out of line,
Oh, not at all.
no,
because
Not at all.
we're
No.
asking for similar contracts to what other EMS services.
In the
Sun
area.
Prairie does
Yeah.
the same.
Yes.
have.
Sun Prairie does the same, and they're covered by the same union as well.
All right,
Mhm.
then
Yeah.
I think we stand our ground.
Mm.
Yeah.
All right.
Cool.
But again, 2 o'clock tomorrow, I have to be there, so if you have anything, just either send it to Lisa and she'll get it to me, or however you want to work it. But I will ask.
Okay.
And nothing scheduled for next commission meeting?
I
Okay.
tried to get a hold of Alicia and no joy. So,
Bring up the insurance.
oh yeah, insurance. Our insurance for the Fire and EMS Commission they will not renew it as of February. So we will have to find a new insurance agent as of February.
Which is not going to be easy to do.
Do
because
they
there's-
give reasons why?
Because our let's see.
If you can disclose them, fine. If you can't, that's.
Yeah, it's open record. I just don't, let's see. I can disclose it. There's nothing here that says I can't. So there is no ambiguity here. I'll just read it verbatim. It's Mr. Hoffman here. Mr. Hoffman received a response from the CWG, I don't know what that analogy is, but you might know, that the loss ratio on the account is 117%, and that is the reason for not renewing the account. Loss runs are attached. So,
How many claims do we put in against insurance?
and I'll forward this to Lisa so she can.
And how in the world did none of us know about that?
Yeah. When did this come out?
I found out about it. I got a call from Chief Evans. He got a call from Dave Schrader saying that our insurance was not going to be renewed. So I reached out to Mr. Hoffman to see why.
And there are very few insurance organizations that provide this type of coverage. It could be difficult.
Or very expensive?
It is not common to be dropped by your insurance company.
I sent you the
No.
attachments too, Lisa.
Okay.
All right. So if you want to look through the attachments and then give it.
When did they send this out?
This was sent out. I got this on Friday, late Friday.
Wow.
And they're saying there's just been too many claims?
Mhm.
Friday, December 6th.
What did it say? Run rate of the.
I received a response from CWG that the loss ratio on the account is 117%. And that is the reason for not renewing the account.
Wow.
Date of expiration, 2/1/2025, 12:01 a.m.
Well, the commission should get together now and start getting quotes.
Yeah.
They can't delay that.
We can't operate without insurance.
No.
Right.
I mean,
And-
that's the building, that's the apparatus, that's workman's comp, that's all of it.
And that's gonna take more than like a
It's 9
month to
pages
figure
of
that
this.
out,
I've
so
sent
they
the
better get
attachment to
moving on that.
Lisa's.
Yeah, send
No,
it
it's
to
9
Lisa.
pages of claims, I guess.
I just want the
9
cover.
pages of claims?
Yeah.
But you're right.
You got it.
Paul is right that you've got to have this, to get denied by the insurance company, and then you got to start going out. I mean,
Appreciate the reminder.
that has to,
Sorry about that.
Information.
that's got to be done right away, because you're not going to find somebody that's just going to come in there. Oh yeah, we'll give you a waiver.
Without a price. Without them jacking the price up.
Right.
Oh, boy, it's going to go up as it is, because the new insurance company is going to realize that the old insurance company is out of it at the end of February.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you
So
gotta let them know.
The league have insurance?
The commission should
That
have
they
an
can provide?
emergency meeting just to address that.
I agree.
Is that
Solution,
the
yep,
amount of
more
time they have to give us for not renewing that? It seems pretty short. Is it, what is it, 60 days? Is that about what they're given, or?
It's not uncommon. Well, I shouldn't say this process is uncommon.
That's what
This
I'm-
is not a normal
And there's been,
active,
there's been verbal
sequence of
warnings.
events.
Well, that's what I'm saying. There had to been letters or
Yeah, there's been
something
verbal,
going
I know
on.
there's been verbal, but I haven't seen any other letters. And I didn't know this was forthcoming until I got a call from Chief Evans. I didn't even get a call from anybody else in the commission. So that's when I reached out to the insurance company and said, what's going on here? So,
No one in the commission told you about this?
no.
When were they gonna bring this up? Who did the letter go to? I mean, they had to have sent a letter.
I think it went to Dave Schrader. He's the one that let
Whoever-
Chief Evans know about it.
Whoever gets the mail,
Yeah.
I mean, who knows when the original notification actually came in? Because I don't know who picks up the mail. You don't know, do you know who
There's-
picks up the mail?
There is, I mean, if Dave Schraver is not doing his job as the president of the EMS commission, then you guys need to replace him.
Personally, I think we need to, so after obviously our 4 and a half municipality meeting that we had with, and there was the discussion that once we knew who was all going to be involved in the commission, that we were going to get together and have another 3, 4, 5 meeting. I think it's time. I think we have to call that meeting.
Yeah, I think we're going to have to be the,
Somebody needs to keep putting the
The
meetings
we need
back
our
on
foot-
there.
yes.
Otherwise, it
We
will seem
can't
like,
kick this can
oh,
down
it
the
sounds
road
like
any
we should
farther.
meet, and then nobody schedules a meeting.
but
so we
it
never
seems like
meet.
we're in this malaise of, well, we just put it off and all our problems will go away.
I think they don't know what to do,
No,
which, I mean,
But we have answers now to the questions that Mr. Cook had. Who's staying, who's going? We have answers to
Yep.
that.
Do we want to call a 5 municipality meeting next week then? The 18th? Wednesday, the 18th?
Well, you can call on all 5, but you know you're only going to have
All 4, I mean, all 4.
Right, 4.
Yeah.
We don't need Oakland there.
Well, they're going to say it's not it's not us. We're out of it 12/31. This isn't effective until February.
I think you
so-
still extend an invite to them, and they can decide whether or not they want to come or not.
Yeah.
But because they are still part of the commission, you know, so.
Right.
But I think, is the 18th the soonest we can do it?
What would be the agenda?
The agenda,
Insurance.
Well,
yeah.
well,
Budget.
it's gotta go, you
It's gotta
guys are
be
gonna go
financial.
through there, right?
Yeah.
It's got to be financial, and it
Budget.
might be budget, and it might be what happens in collective bargaining. It might be, you know, there could be 3, 4 different agenda items on there.
And forcing the commission to have regular meetings. They used to meet like every, like second Wednesday or third Wednesday or something.
Right.
We were
Why
doing
did
good
that
up
stop?
until, well, it was doing good up until September.
Well, there's a couple reasons. The last meeting we had with all 5 municipalities, we agreed upon the next time we meet as a commission, all of the municipalities are going to be there.
Yep.
So I think somebody's just they're just kind of.
Everybody's just kind of waiting to see who's going to call the meeting.
Who's gonna blank, who's going to call it, who's, you know. So I think that's going to end up falling on us to make that decision and extend the invite because there's lots to discuss.
Lots.
So what do you want to do, Monday the 16th instead?
Be
I
there.
could do Monday or Tuesday. I'll be out of town the 18th through the 22nd.
Tuesday is water and sewer.
Tuesday's water and sewer, yeah.
Pretty robust menu on or agenda on the water and sewer. Yeah. How about Monday? What's Monday look like?
Do you think anybody's going to agree that quick
Yeah.
to meet on Monday?
No.
How about
That's
Thursday?
fast.
Maybe 4 of us. Maybe
Kristen
Chuck.
wouldn't be able to be there on Thursday.
You should be there. Can you do it Wednesday?
We're going to be in college. My kid graduates from college on the 20th, so we're leaving
Yeah,
on the.
but boy, if this doesn't get done next
17th.
week, it's going to be the week of Christmas. And then, you know, for sure, you're going to have folks with complications. I think it's got to be next week.
When did Jane say that she was going to get back to you on the other item?
She was waiting to hear back from the judge.
Because that might be another agenda item.
I mean, obviously, if you have to do it when I'm not here, we have to do it.
Can you call?
Well, the last time they
Tuesday,
didn't let
water and
anybody.
sewer is
Remember?
at
No,
5.
Jensen, they
Think
didn't.
we do it afterwards?
The question is, does it need to
That's
be
what
a
I saw
closed session?
when I looked at that.
Does it?
Water and sewer's at
Is that at 5?
6:30, isn't it?
6:30.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, then I got it wrong. Okay.
I don't know that it would even need to
Does
be
it
a
need to be a
closed
closed?
session meeting.
I was going to say, let's leave it, no, it doesn't
Have
have
it
to
as
be
an
closed
open session.
Why?
Yeah, I don't think it.
They, would contract negotiations be a closed session? If we
There
talked
could be an
about that.
element of it. I mean, there
Yeah.
could be a section of it, but I would think the majority of this, the budget, the insurance stuff, all of this stuff should be.
I think the only
An
thing
open
closed session
session.
would be talking about the collective bargaining.
Yeah.
The rest of this should all be an open session.
Yeah. We're speaking about it in open session right now.
Yep.
Sorry.
So,
Look at that
I mean, that
calendar.
would be my suggestion.
Tuesday? Well, you can't do water and
Tuesdays,
sewer.
water and sewer.
It's either Wednesday or Thursday.
I think we'd do it Monday.
I would ask them for Monday, and if they can't do Monday, then
Wednesday or Thursday?
you guys are going to have to do it Wednesday or Thursday.
All right.
What's your schedule look like, Lisa?
If we do it Wednesday, it would have to be a 7:30 meeting. Because we have water and sewer at 6:30.
Tuesday, you mean?
Tuesday is
Tuesday.
water and sewer.
Tuesday.
Sorry, yep, sorry. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, some of those water and sewer meetings I got out fairly early. I mean, is it a pretty robust agenda? Do you recall? Or Vicky does it, so.
Yeah, Vicki. I glanced at it today. It depends how many people come on retention funds.
Mm.
Yep, that's probably the big unknown is the retention ponds.
Like, yeah, we're burning them up.
Chase will be there for well number 3 updates and the grant for the generator for well number 2.
Mm.
Well, I guess you can work this out, but I would say Wednesday or Thursday. And I'm sorry you can't be here, Kristen, but the insurance thing, you don't get that real quick.
Mhm.
I mean, you got to file that, they have to do a review, and if
Here's
Hoffman is
why I
dropping us.
push Monday, Mark,
Mhm.
because if we wait till Wednesday or Thursday,
We're
then
into the new
we're
year.
already into the holiday weekend.
You're into the new year
You're not gonna
because
get any
nothing's
Yeah,
going to
we aren't
happen
gonna
the
get
26th,
anything.
27th.
Anybody
That's
until
why,
the 29th.
if we want
I
to
think we
action
asked
on that
for Monday.
insurance, I
Ask
think
for
we have
Monday.
to meet Monday.
I think we asked for Monday.
We asked for Monday.
all right, I'll go Monday, but if they,
And if they have to do it earlier or later, we can pivot. I mean,
we don't have anything else for Monday, right?
And it shouldn't interfere with, because
No.
Rockdale was last night,
Mhm.
Christiana
It's
was
been
last
tough one
night.
year.
mhm.
All right.
So it shouldn't
I-
interfere with
And,
their,
and I think we stayed in there, the emergent nature of this, why we are doing this so quickly, is there has to be some action taken
Mhm.
this week, or that week, the week of the 16th, to start finding a new insurer.
Yes.
And that's another contract. Everyone is gonna have to sign off on that
Right.
contract for that, right?
Yeah, it's a good point, Brian.
All right,
makes you wonder.
Shoot for
I
Monday.
can send an email tonight.
Yeah.
Okay.
The other
Right away.
municipalities know
Super.
the insurance has been.
Probably not.
That would be my question is, does Rockdale know?
Probably
And if-
not.
So,
They'll know
Then my
now.
mind goes
They
to,
all
is this
know
a
now.
tactic?
okay, Monday it is, and if it doesn't work, then definitely Wednesday or Thursday. But it's got to be next week,
Mhm.
all right? You all right with that?
Yep.
You're
Yep.
Can you get that out,
I
Lisa?
just said I can go upstairs and.
All right,
Send it right away.
okay,
Thank you.
all right, well then let's try to wrap
I'll
this up.
Let me double check and make sure this room's not being used Monday night, but.
Okay.
Okay, anything else, Chris?
No.
All right,
Maybe even send that, that attachment to the folks, what I just had emailed to you. If they haven't heard about it, then
Oh,
all
yeah,
that
that'd
information
be
is
good.
right there.
And it'd be
Yep.
good for all of the board members on all of the boards to know.
Yeah. So it's not hearsay or
Correct.
rumor control, or whatever.
All right.
all right, yeah. Okay,
That's
moving
all I
on.
have, Mark, thanks.
Item 10, correspondence. We have an Election Day Workers' Proclamation. This was issued by the Governor of Wisconsin, Mr. Tony Evers, and it was signed on October 18th of 2024. I'll read a couple paragraphs. Whereas free and fair elections are the cornerstone of democracy in ensuring that every eligible voter can vote safely, securely, and without fear of intimidation is critically important to the functions and success of democracy.
I can read the next one.
Yeah.
Whereas while election administration is never an easy responsibility, local clerks, election officials, poll workers, voter education groups, and postal service workers have faced immense, unprecedented challenges over the past few years. And
whereas Election Hero Day provides Wisconsinites with the opportunity to honor election heroes for their commitment to upholding Wisconsin's free and fair election process by promoting voter engagement, participation, and protection, making sure voters have the information they need, and ensuring that every ballot is counted.
And whereas, whether in Wisconsin or nationwide, election heroes never fail to display courage, resilience, and dedication to facilitating safe, secure, and successful elections. And
Whereas today, the state of Wisconsin joins all Wisconsinites in expressing sincere gratitude and appreciation for all those who work tirelessly to protect the integrity of the electoral system and provide safe, secure, and accessible voting experiences for individuals across the state and country.
I'll just wrap it up here. Now therefore, Tony Evers, Governor of the State of Wisconsin, does hereby proclaim November 4th, 2024 as Election Hero Day throughout the state of Wisconsin, and he commends this observance to all of our state's residents.
All right.
And I will send this to all my coworkers.
Yeah.
I have to say, over the last 4 or 5 years, so many things have changed and they have weathered the storm, and we've actually picked up coworkers where in November
Lisa told me I didn't have to do
yes,
it.
we had more than we needed, and we had extra on staff to get. So we've picked up workers through a lot of challenging times. So
great.
Outstanding.
I truly appreciate all the work they do.
Nice.
All right. Okay. Continuing on, questions, referrals of staff, future agenda items. We've got a couple, the bike trail, and then some ongoing projects, legal and engineering. Is there anything else that we want to?
That's another thing we'll jump Lucy into in January. We talked about audit and finance starting to meet to go
Yep.
through these things. So
Yep, perfect.
Okay. All right, upcoming meetings, December 11th is the Library Board, 17th is Water and Sewer Committee, and the Fire and EMS Commission sometime
16th.
next week.
December
believe
16th,
16th?
I just want you all to note, I'm in both of those meetings that are still in December.
Okay.
Noted.
Thank you.
Yeah, what does that, just make your stocking a little bigger here?
Oh, boy.
I hope so.
Or is it going to be more lumps of coal?
That's why you made that motion about
Yeah.
not having the meeting on the 24th.
That stocking does hold bottles of wine.
Oh.
Just saying.
Excellent.
All right.
Excellent.
And then one more item before we get to 13.
and I added since then. So January 7th is Economic Development. January 8th will be the Library Board again, and then 13th Plan Commission, 14th Joint Law Enforcement and Village Board. The 21st will be Water and Sewer, and the 28th Village Board.
Okay. On behalf of the Board of Trustees with the Village of Cambridge, we wish all of you a very happy and healthy, safe holiday season. Enjoy Christmas and New Year's and the time with the family, and we hope that you're safe, and we'll look forward to talking and seeing everybody in 2025.
I make a motion to adjourn.
My second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
I know.
Carries. All right. Thank you.
See, we told you there'd be some short ones. and